Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Stone Protocol podcast. So I have a good friend of mine, fellow dad, fellow entrepreneur. His name is Pontus Jacobson. He does a lot of very cool things, including being a father and a husband and a beekeeper. And we're going to get into it. Today, our podcast, sometimes we talk about all sorts of stuff. We talk about aliens. We talk about politics. We go all over the place. We're going to have a pretty focused conversation today, really focusing in on what it means to be a strong man, a strong father, and a strong leader, and the things that we can do as these strong fathers, leaders, and men to continue to be better for ourselves and our community. A lot of our viewers here are in their 20s, Gen Zs, and then in our 30s, and also now in our 40s. And so we're going to basically talk about the things that we have done, and it'll be more of a conversation where I'll share too of how we are raising our daughters to hopefully be strong women in the world, doing everything we can do for that. So for young men who are, maybe dating, not yet married, we're going to share some of our experiences. I've been divorced twice, and Pontus is in a very stable relationship, which is awesome. So I am also going to take some notes there, Pontus, as I look for my future partner. And for people who are currently, maybe an entrepreneur or currently in a marriage, but maybe they don't have children yet, these are going to be some great tips for you. Our daughters are both 8 years old. And for those of you who are maybe in a similar life cycle as we are, where you may already be an entrepreneur in a stable relationship and have, young children, you will be able to commiserate with us, both for the good and some of the complicated. So Pontus, welcome to the podcast. It's a pleasure to have you here, man.
Thanks, Light. It's an honor to be here. And what a topic we're touching today too.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna get to talk about it. Well, it's a lot of high pressure for sure.
Oh, you're gonna do great, man. It can't be more high pressure than being a dad to a beautiful 8-year-old daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing time, right? I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah. So let's maybe you can just kind of give a little bit of an overview of what you do professionally with your honey company. I love honey. I eat honey every day, literally in my intra workout. And every time we go down Pearl Street, we always go to your shop. And Freya, my daughter, and we always get the lavender, like the lavender lollipop. That's her favorite. And we'll get other stuff too, but every time that's what she wants. And I don't feel bad buying that for her because not only does it taste amazing, but it's also really good for her. So maybe just share a little bit about that first and kind of like what led you into that and all that.
Yeah, so I run my business is Björn's Colorado Honey, and we are based out of Boulder, Colorado. I got into beekeeping from my grandfather, Björn, who is the namesake of the company. And we focusing on beehive to consumer directly. So we taking care of the entire chain, everything from producing our own products to selling it to the consumer. And we also have a cafe in the airport. We're opening up one on Pearl Street. So we actually got to a cafe and ice cream.
I didn't know that there's going to be. Oh, you did mention the ice cream place. That's going to be super cool. Yeah.
And it's super cool to be able to like take this product, all the way from the beehives and literally putting it into people's coffee cups because it's like the entire chain. So that's kind of what we specialize in. We never really focus on like wholesale and so on.
Right.
So it's a wild ride for sure. It's I wear a lot of hats.
So you're what I'm hearing is you're really more focused on the consumer, and in business the consumer is a good thing, but the end user's experience of having these products directly and not actually having any middle people. So you're direct to consumer, really so like when you walk into your store, I walk in there, staff is smiling, everything feels great. And I'm just like surrounded by honey, which for me and my 8-year-old is like fucking heaven, right? Because I don't like going into candy shops. I mean, it's like poison, literally it's poison. Yeah. And these are actually nourishing foods.
Yeah. I mean, the way I ended up in it's actually pretty interesting. So when I started producing honey 15 years ago in Boulder, I could not produce enough of it. And my wholesale cost was so high because I could sell it directly to consumer instead of selling it to a store, that when stores reached out about wholesaling it, my cost was so high that they just like, no, we can't do this. I mean, this is basically a retail price for us.
Right.
So I kind of took the advantage of the opportunities that I saw on the way of selling directly to consumer. Right. And then we just never grew out of it.
Well, maybe that's not a thing to grow out of. I mean, maybe that is actually a much more sustainable business practice where the people who are making the thing are really focused on the people who are using that thing.
Yeah, 100%. And that can also be my end goal, right? Because I know that I am fully responsible the entire way. So like, and I get phone calls from customers, you know, asking about products. They never are going to another store or a source to ask these questions. So yeah, I love the process. It's crazy amount of work, obviously, because now I have all the retail staff. I have all the logistics of moving the honey throughout Colorado, you know, leases with landlords. And so it's a lot of work, but I also really love work. Like I love what I do.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it. It's stressful. But.
So how do you manage? You've been with your wife now for how many years?
16.
16, bro. It is like, I love that. It's so fucking awesome. So how do you guys manage? And she's amazing. I would consider her obviously not as close as a friend as you, but you know, we hang out at the gym. How do you manage all of this work that you're doing and then having a relationship with your wife and then also having a relationship and building out this relationship and this young woman that is your daughter?
So I do think I was really lucky in some ways. So even way before I got my daughter, early on in me and Laura is my wife, and she's a co-owner of Björn's Colorado Honey. I moved from Sweden to America, and I pretty much started my business right away. And I was young at that point. I mean, I was 24 years old.
So wild, bro.
And it was the great time. I mean, it was a great time to leave Sweden and don't be distracted by friends or parties or anything else that kind of going on, because I was lonely with my wife in Boulder. And it was a perfect time to just put my head down to run my business. I also didn't have anything, you know, so I had to start everything over in America, right? So it really allowed me to just like focus and putting my energy into work. And I did a lot of farmers markets, and I got to go out and speak with people, and that kind of became my community. I mean, the customers and the other vendors, that kind of became my friends because I was just working all the time. You know, coming into today with my wife and my daughter, you know, I'm proud to say that I'm extremely in love with my wife.
For good reason, bro.
And after 15 years, I still look at her and I'm like extremely like amazed at her power and what she can do. I mean, after we got our daughter and she's kind of stepped into the role of a mother, I was like, I'm like more in love with her now than I ever been. So
yeah, that's awesome. And we're gonna like kind of bounce around these three like pinball. Our kids play pinball together, so it's a pinball joke. It's a throwback pinball joke. We'll kind of bounce around between all of these. I'm curious too, and I bet people are curious. When I had my publishing company, I started in like Comic-Con conventions, so similar to like the farmers market of like fantasy sci-fi books at a convention like Comic-Con. When did it transition for you going from farmers market to like brick and mortar, and like what was that like?
So, you know, I had an outreach from a company in the airport. They wanted to take my business into these kiosks. And
those are the ones that when you walk down the aisle, you're in the center of the
Yep, exactly. And we decided to kind of jump on it and to try it. And I worked in there for 6 months. So
you're there. That was you.
And I worked in sales, but also kind of managing the people in there. And it's an extremely tough environment.
Doesn't seem like they sell a lot in those kiosks. Like it seems like a rough.
It's a rough time. It's not easy. I mean, no one is there for shopping.
No, they're there to travel and like kind of don't really, but they're bored, so they look, but they're just looking.
And it's like, more of a display shelves. People are looking. And so what I learned really fast there working was like, because it was the opposite of the farmers markets. Farmers markets, people come
to buy,
happy, they're there to buy and sample and interact.
So that's what a Comic-Con is like. People are there to make purchases, buy cool stuff, and it's a relatively easy sale. Now there's a lot of competition, but if you can stand out, but it seems like at an airport, like I'm there to travel, like I'm flying to DC or whatever.
100%. And you've seen that like sell me this pen thing that everyone do, you know? People's like, okay, well, you're a good salesman. Sell me this pen. And I'm like, okay, where's the customer?
Right.
Because like, if I don't have a customer in front of me, I ain't selling this pen.
Right.
It doesn't matter how good I am at sales, right? And the farmers markets is like the perfect example of that, because everyone there is a customer. So after working the airport for like 6 months and realized how brutal that was coming from a very motivated customer base, I started to realize that if I can make it in here, I need to go into just retail shops.
Yeah, Pearl Street. Yeah,
and Pearl Street, and I think the Breckenridge was our first.
Oh, was Breck?
location.
Oh, that's cool. Were you traveling to Breck from Boulder?
You know, I had a really good employee at the time, and she lived in Summit.
Okay, cool.
And I literally like opened that store for her to run it, and it was a way to keep her full time. And we had nothing. I mean, we had a table like this with just honey on it in a ginormous space.
Oh shit!
And that's how we opened up, and people came in, and we were like, "Oh, you want to try
bet they kind of like that though, right? Right, but it's like it's almost like that. Like here we are, like we're so focused on the bees, and like this is like all you need is a table and a tablecloth, and the honey.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of badass.
We ran it like that for like a couple of months before we kind of got all the duck in the row. And understood like kind of what we needed to offer. And
so for a young entrepreneur, and I'm thinking of a good friend of mine actually. His name is Cyrus. He's the CEO of Peak Peptides. I'm gonna have him on later, and he runs a peptide company here, and I think he's in his 20s, and he's like in a similar stage to you, and he's he's not married yet, but I believe he will be. What advice would you give to someone who's like, I don't like the word grinding because that is like you're like losing flesh there, but it is that like it feels
100%,
and like that sucks, but it just is what it is. How can you and how did you, because you've done it, how did you be in that grind while still simultaneously investing in your relationship with your wife? I would assume, and I've met Laura, that it also has a really big component of pick the right person, which you did. She's awesome. And so I'm curious though of how you manage that while having so much stress and so much work and then leveraging that into success.
So, a lot of the groundwork me and Laura got to put into before we had a kid. And I'm so grateful for that, because as soon as you have a child, your motivation completely changes. Your view on life completely changes.
Your sleep completely.
Your sleep. I mean, everything is completely.
Your testosterone
changes.
too. Testosterone drops in males significantly. Yeah. There's data on this as well. Your testosterone can drop like up to like 200 points. So if you're at like a reasonable like 600 or 700, it'll drop down to like 3 to 4. And they say it so you're like less agitated towards the wife and child. But that's the drive also to like go work and grind.
That is interesting.
Super well.
I 100% that is the truth. So I'm really grateful I got that groundwork off, the grind, honestly. Laura is working for me right now. I mean, she actually owns 51% of the business these days.
Good for her.
I guess I always work for her.
Hey man, I mean,
and we all husbands, we are all
I was gonna
working
say
for our wives.
Yeah.
But she worked in tech in Boulder, and she was working way too hard, and she couldn't really find a balance. Probably more on her than the company she worked for, which she worked for a great company. But I literally poached her. And
this was before you guys were married.
We were married at this point.
So
I had to get married because I went back and forth from Sweden and Austria, and I kind of did a few different things. And then one day I didn't want to go home, and Laura was like, "Well, let's get married." I was like, "Boom, all right, let's do it." And then like 2 weeks later, we were married. Right?
Wow. Okay.
So I poached her. And then we tried to figure out how to work together, because she has this skill set of like paperwork and applications. And I'm more of like a doer.
I need to find me one of those, bro. I'm telling you.
Great to have. Lawyers, project managers, like just gather like the resume.
Maybe give them a whip and like a lasso of truth or something. That's a Wonder Woman joke.
But finding someone, it doesn't have to be a partner in life. But as you run a business, to find people that complements you to what you are good to. And it's hard in the beginning of a business, because you also don't have the money or the capital to like invest. And investing in other people to bring the business up, it's really hard in the beginning, but it truly is like every successful business has. It has a very skilled team.
Successful ones, as you point out. Exactly. So then when your child then came, how did things change? How did your relationship adapt with your wife, and how did your relationship with your business adapt? And then how did your relationship with yourself adapt?
Oh,
I
so
know.
many
I
questions.
know.
So, I mean, first of all, my motivation of the grind disappeared completely when I got Esther.
Okay.
Like, you would think that you get a kid and now you want to grind even harder. But for me, it was more of like backing away from the business because I worked 7 days a week, like 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
I started
you're on the phone on the gym yesterday when we were hanging out. You're like taking a call at the gym. Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
So I started to just like, I'm not working weekends anymore.
Yeah.
And I used to always work weekends, but I was like, I have a kid. She's going to either daycare or school.
Yeah.
And the weekends is the only time I get to hang out with her. So I just like said no to that completely.
Yeah.
And then me and Laura, we run like a very routine-based relationship. It's like I do the bedtime routines. I do, getting her ready for school in the morning. Laura makes her breakfast. It's like, it's very just rigid.
Yeah,
and that way we never have to fight about who's doing what.
There's no confusion.
There's just no confusion.
Yeah.
And I think that helps a lot.
Yeah.
And then in the business, me and Laura, we try to have Monday morning meetings. We realized very soon that turned into like Monday morning fights. So we were like, hey, listen, like you are
without throwing. Laura's great. So we're not speaking ill of Laura here. Can you elaborate a little bit around that?
I mean, the thing is that we want the same thing, but the way to get there can be slightly different.
Right.
So we just like divided our workload, and we were like, hey, you are really good at this, and I am really good at this, and we just need to work like together, next to each other, but we don't have to really like exactly discuss how to get to this end goal.
Yeah. Is that a little bit of don't tell me what to do?
I need management. It's like I have employees that like boss me around, and I'm like, I love it, and I'm like, that's awesome. I love that you do this.
Yeah.
But that was definitely a learning curve in the beginning.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. How did the relationship? How you, and this was big one for me, how you self-identified both in the company and then in your relationship and then for yourself when Esther came. So now I'm a father. How did that mental cognitive shift? Because a lot of fathers, before you're father, you're one way. After post-fatherhood, now your self-reference point as, for me, it's daddy. My kid calls me daddy, and like not in a creepy way, but I'm fucking daddy to her. That shifted my everything. What was that like for you?
I mean, as soon as you get a kid, you have to start thinking about what you want this kid to view the world, right?
Yeah.
And I think as a father figure, like you said, at least having a daughter, and probably a boy too, I don't have that experience, but like you get to decide how she's going to grow up and what she's going to choose in life. Yeah. And, I'm trying to be a very open with my daughter. I don't want to lie to her. We keep certain grown-up aspects of life, kind of on the side. But, I just want to be, someone that she feels that she can trust. Yeah. And I want to be a father where if she messes up, which we've all done in life, like, she can come to me and tell me about it. Yeah. Because as a grown-up in a kid's eye, like we have like magical powers.
Totally. Yeah.
Like we can fix everything.
She thought I could control the weather.
Oh, nice, dude. That would be awesome.
Seriously. And I was like, there was a moment in my mind where I was like, I could pretend I'm like Odin here. I was like, Freya, because her name is Freya, Yeah. I was like, Freya, I wish, like, part of me wants to lie to you and just like pretend that I can, because like that just feels so funny to me. But daddy cannot, at least as far as I know, control the weather. Right. She was like, really? I go, really, honey? I love that you think I can do that. Yeah. But there are other things I can control. What I can control for the most part is how I treat you, and I'm going to choose to treat you really well. Right. So if I ever raise my voice at you, you need to say, daddy, don't do that. I can't control the thunderstorm, but I can control my own internal thunder as Odin, Thor's, like Thor's son or whatever, Yeah.
And I mean, it is cool. I mean, I remember growing up as a kid too, and looking at my parents and just like thinking that they could just do everything. Yeah.
I was unfortunately like grossly disappointed by my father once I realized that he could. I was like, are you seriously? These are the choices you're making in life? I don't understand. That's so funny. So out of just going back to like the Norwegian thing, so I have Freya, you have Esther. Esther looks like she has walked out of like a Scandinavian like
poster.
Yeah, seriously,
Yes.
poster. Like how did
Yeah,
that
with
happen?
like a flower crown in her hair.
Dude, she got. I was describing her because I mentioned. Oh, I want to say another really quick story that I told you at the gym. I was even telling our tech today. And I walked up to you at the gym, and I was gonna say, oh, I found another little girl for us. Which I was like, oh shit, that's like the most Epstein like weird fucking shit ever. So I was like, no, full stop, Pontus. I found another mother who has a daughter the same age as our daughters who wants to play pinball with our daughters, and our three families can go to the pinball arcade together. And like as a long sentence that makes a lot of sense, but when they're like, oh, I found another little girl, it was like I was like, oh god, it was like I was so embarrassed. Luckily I didn't say that thing in front of a bunch of people at our gym. But it looks like she's like kind of like walked out. What is it? Yeah, so I think about this a lot. Freya, she has more blonde hair instead of like whatever ashen white Norwegian goddess yours is. But Freya's is blonde, and she's going to be very beautiful. Your daughter's going to be very beautiful. How do you kind of come up against that to not have her self-identify too much with that beauty? Because it's going to be, it's going to be a superpower for her, but it also can be a super hindrance if she over relies on it, is how I view it though. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, man, I'm not really there yet.
Okay.
What do you want for your daughter? Like how do you want them to view themselves, right? Do you want them to view themselves as smart and powerful? Yeah. But could beauty be a part of power?
It can be. It should be. Right? Should be leveraged, but it's like how much? Yeah.
Yeah. And we go to the gym every day.
Bro,
you and
100%.
We are both
absolutely. Yeah. In a good way. It's marketing and it's strength and it's confidence. That's good. Yeah.
I think and I see this with all my employees too, because I see my job today very similar to my employees and having my daughter. It's to finding what people are really good at, because we ain't good at everything.
100%.
But everyone is good at something. Mm-hmm. And if you can pinpoint that one and lift that up, that is so much more than what most people can do that tries to be a little bit good at everything. Right. And my daughter, she has extremely good social skills. And you can get really far in life by having a really good social network. Yeah. And so we really encouraging that. I have to, when she goes into school in the morning, I'm like, you need to say hi to everyone. Yeah. So she walks in and she say, hi, Billy, hi, John. And she just says hi and good morning to every single one.
These other kids' hearts just melt, because it's kindness.
Well, it's nice to be recognized. Seriously.
Right? You're kind to me. Whenever I see you at the gym, I'm like a little puppy. I'm like, oh my God, Pontus is here. The fucking other trainers like, Jesus Christ. No, but seriously,
it's great. And that's the world we want to live in.
That's the world I want to live in, bro. That's why I want to be your friend.
And it's the opposite of how I grew up. Swedish people are the most they live in this little ball, and it doesn't matter. You can party all night with someone, and you can act as your best friend, and the day after you just ignore each other. And that social skill that I come from in Sweden is the opposite to the social skill Americans have, which is so good. Yeah. The way Americans can walk into an elevator and just strike a conversation with someone.
They'd be like, cool shoes. Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
So I really want her to just feel that she has, what she's good at. I want to lift that up.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for that in all my employees.
Yeah.
And if I can find something that someone is really good at and lift them up at that, I can put them in a role where what they are good at really shines.
Let's focus on that, because I think it's a really good point. So when and I remember hiring for my company, and it's I liked the term hire, because I unfortunately didn't do this. I had to learn it. Hire fast, fire faster. Let's first focus on the hiring aspect. How can you see that maybe just diamond that's already cut as a diamond? Great, you're a diamond. You're a diamond. It's on your resume. Come shine. Or the diamond in the rough. I can build you into something. Really quick, where I'm at in dating, and I would love to be married for as many years as you are. So someday I'm trying to not overemphasize the diamond in the rough in a relationship, but in a company, you do build up your employees, and that's okay and that's good. You also are not married to them, so it's a different situation, and you pay them appropriately to their output and their skills, and so there's lower risk there, where you only marry one person at least at a time, and that can be very risky. So what do you look for to be able to basically do the things that you're saying? How do you optimize for that? And what suggestions would you give to other young entrepreneurs so they can piggyback off of what you've already learned?
So, in the company of hiring people, so I'm still a small company. We have 110 employees roughly today. So I mean,
small is relative,
it's a lot
though,
of people.
bro.
And small is relative.
Yeah.
But in the view of companies, I'm still considered small, and my budget is still small if I compare to other companies. Yeah. So for me, it's a lot about finding employees and then try to get them up the ladder, because there's unlimited amount of opportunity in my company. Right. And there's one thing that I'm always looking for, and it's just someone that cares. And if I can find someone that cares, I can train them on everything.
How rare is that when you interview?
It is so rare these days.
Okay, can you tell us?
So I think there is something where people think it's cool not to like work.
Dude, it's true.
And it's like, why do you not? And we kind of grow up that way. And we almost grow up, and there's so too many people don't like their work today. Yeah. And if you just go into a workplace and you like truly cares about what you do, you're gonna be recognized. Yeah. And you can be trained on everything. Yeah. And we're so smart, and we have so much knowledge. I mean, ChatGPT or
it's crazy.
AI or YouTube. I mean, you can literally learn anything you want.
Anything that there's to know.
But if you don't want to learn and you don't care, you will never succeed.
Yeah, nothing.
So finding like a workspace where you like really want to be, or even if you have workspace that you don't want to be, if you're going to be there 8 hours, just like do your best,
and then transition to something else,
and then the transition, or make yourself be seen for your managers or the owners, so they can like invest the time and the training it takes to get you up to like a better space.
So let's say we have a young entrepreneur, maybe their cash flow is pretty light, or maybe they're making some money. How can you tell when a potential employee really cares and it's not just kind of like fluffing you up?
I mean, you see it so much on how they acting, right? And as a manager or the owner, I see so much more of my employees than what they think I see.
Super interesting. Same way.
And I mean, I hear it from other employees. I hear it from the managers. I see it how they interact with like my HR department.
Sure.
And it's like, some people can't even put in like the pay slip to get paid. And I'm like, well, you can't even put your bank account information.
Right. This is literally for you.
Like, like we're not doing this for me.
Right.
And it's like just small things that you.
Why do you think that is? Like, did their parents not teach them that? Like, this is now like a meta question, but like.
Yeah, I mean,
who knows? I guess.
You're ending up at the wrong space, maybe.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, filling out your bank information, that's like the first couple of days of getting employed.
Right.
And it's like those, but I do retail. Okay. So I work with unshaped diamonds, as you call it. Right. And my goal is to find these and then slowly kind of chip away on it. Right. And I have plenty of employees that have started as like a sales rep.
Sure.
And are now
I think this is super valuable for entrepreneurs. And like, you can go to business school and you can have some business professor tell you how to do this, or you can like literally listen to someone who's fucking doing it. Like, no, but this is the power of podcasting. I'm being very serious. So how then, let's say, all right, you find someone who cares, they fill in their fucking bank account info, and their higher ups like, okay, I recognize that this person can either take on more responsibility or learn new skills. How do you shepherd them through that process to get them to where you believe they can be for themselves and for the company, mutually self-serving?
So when I recognize someone that has like it, and that this person cares, right? I kind of keep it for myself a little bit. I keep it within my little manager group. I normally get like a manager calling me saying like, hey, this person is doing really good. We really, and I was like, okay, we're gonna need to start like testing them. Cool. So we actually don't tell them from the start. I mean, we tell them and encourage them.
Yeah,
and
we
tell
great.
them they're doing really good.
Yeah.
But if we want them to kind of accelerate in the company, I tossing like small projects their way.
Nice.
And I just be like, hey, I think you would be a good fit of like doing this. Yeah. Do you want to take a look at it?
Honey intro workout. Dude. I've been trying to convince them to do a honey intro workout.
And most of the times they're like, okay, yeah, I do it, And then I kind of like adding a little bit more and a little bit more. And then suddenly they have just like stepped away to show me that like they can handle like a project. Right. And at that point, we have them sit down and we offer them another job, or we kind of start to move them away from from the part they're doing. And then hopefully they just like keep climbing the ladder like that, because I need extremely talented people surrounding me. My business is at the point right now where I can't do everything. I honestly, I'm not good at everything, but there's so much smart people out there. And if they put their head into to really trying, they will succeed. And
what have you learned, and how has this been applied? Because we've been talking about it. It's been very interesting for me to hear you opening up this new location in DIA, the Denver International Airport. I know there's been some issues with like how the honey comes out of the dispenser and like all these different things, and there's like constant problems happening. How do you apply this, and what else have you learned from that process for this new location?
So the airport is extremely hard to work in. I actually had a dishwasher break this morning.
Oh, Jesus!
I had to drive out there to try to fix.
You drove out to DIA this morning? Is that where you were at?
I came back.
Oh shit, bro! Well, thank you for coming back on the show.
Thank you.
Driving back in.
So like, the airport would never happen without an entire team. And all my stores is set up with an entire team of people. Like to fully set up the store in the airport, we have at least 6 extremely motivated people.
And how long have you been with those people to know that, like, just on average?
But this core group of people have been with me for a long time.
Cool.
I mean, some of them up to 8 years.
Wow.
The lowest probably like 4 years.
Yeah. So this is tried and true. They're tested. They've been in the trenches.
And this is like my core group.
I'm sure if they listen to this, I'm sure their hearts are like so filled.
Oh, they know, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm lifting these guys up to the skies, because without them, I truly, my company wouldn't be anything what it is today. But this is a group of people that most of them started as sales rep in my company, and they are now like heads on negotiating contract with appliance makers and the airport and hiring staff and training managers. And I think that's what is really cool with Björn's Colorado Honey too, because I want to take the unshaped diamonds and make them a diamond.
That's so cool.
And I am a stepping point. I mean, retail is a stepping point work for most people. So for me to like really holding on to the ones that I see opportunity in, it's extremely valuable for the company, and they know the process.
Well, I think you've got to incentivize them to stay. It's like a marriage too.
100%.
You know, you've got to breathe life into it, and then have life from them breathe into you, and then grow the whole process together.
And that has been a really interesting, very like hands changing, or I flipped the paper, because starting off the business, we needed the capital. Like the capital was the absolute most important thing to have the business to survive and grow, and getting equipment. So I used to be very, I don't want to say rough, but I was on my employees to be able to gather the most capital possible, because an employee costs a lot of money. But as my business have grown, it's more important now to have a really good workspace and having a space where people want to stay.
And when you say, would you call that environment? And is that space both for the staff themselves, but also the customers?
I mean, it's everything from the employees to getting heard and to know that there is an opportunity to grow in the company. If you want to get challenged, like I love to get challenged at work. So I need a constant problem to solve. And if my employees needs that, I need to keep handing them problems to solve that they feel that they get
motivated. Otherwise, they're just a cog in the machine sitting at a computer or whatever.
100%.
That totally makes sense.
So, you know, my focus right now is just to like create a really good workspace, create a really good culture. And culture is something I never been concentrating on, and culture is very expensive. You have to do a lot of things for your employees. It's something that the company makes for the employees, and you can tell someone like, this is our culture, we are happy, but it's like, if you're not following through from management and from me as an owner, like you have to show them that like, I care about this.
How do you know when the culture is successful versus unsuccessful? Obviously you'll make less money, but that's not necessarily indicative of culture. There could be other things. How do you specifically optimize for culture?
So for me, I get a much longer retention rate out of my
Makes
employees.
sense.
You know, they smile to my customers when the customer walk
Whenever
in
I
the
walk
door.
in, people are so friendly. I mean, I
Awesome.
also walk in with like a like a little 8-year-old too, and she's in like a candy, honey
Yeah.
shop. But
And
still.
we do, I mean, we do things today that is not common in retail. So we offer paid vacation,
Mhm.
healthcare.
Mhm.
You know, we try to give them as much of a flexible schedule that
Mhm.
they want,
Mhm.
because I want them, if they can live a good life outside of
Mhm.
work,
Mhm.
that is going to be
How-
brought into
What's coming up
work.
for me is like why are so many other companies so predacious, like so predatory? Like, why are you not an asshole? But like, and how? Like, but do you know what I mean? Like, and I
Yeah.
know, but like, why do so many other companies only focus then on money and don't care about these things? Like what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I have no idea.
They're just
to be
bad
honest
people.
with you.
Like, I don't.
I think that a lot people care about money too much.
Yeah.
Because like paying for healthcare and paid vacation, it's really expensive. I mean, you
Yeah.
pay hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, but like these companies, like they're not spending the money on healthcare. They're spending the money on like, I don't know, like Epstein Island or something. I don't know, but I don't know. Like it doesn't make sense to me, I guess.
Yeah.
And maybe,
I mean, maybe you're so disconnected from the staff who's doing the work
Yeah.
that you, as sitting on the top of this company, you don't
More.
how the actual staff is feeling or working.
Yeah.
But retail, I mean, it's so common to take in like a college student,
Right?
And I pay you minimum wage,
right?
You stay for me 3
and
months,
then I'm gonna
and then I
chew
get
you up
another,
and kick you out, and there's another one. What is the?
But I never seen my staff as like a retail clerk,
right?
You know, they are there to give an amazing experience for the customer,
right?
And when someone comes out of my store, I want them to just like, that was cool,
bro. Every time I'm in there, Freya is like, we're going to Bjornsby. Like it's not a request. She's like, dirty, we're going there.
But yeah, to have my staff to give a good experience, they have to be happy at work.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they're gonna be standing on the phones.
Right.
They're not gonna care. And if they get fired, they don't care because they can go get a minimum paid
someplace else who
else,
also doesn't care about them.
Right.
So how then do you create that culture in you? So how do you take care of you? I assume the gym is a big piece of that, but how do you stay happy in that space? And then that trickles not even down, but like outward from you and from Laura too.
So where I am, like I have put myself in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And originally I did it because I didn't have any money.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed to work, obviously, as all we do.
Mm-hmm.
But as the company have grown, I mean, first of all, I love what I do,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to accept that comes with a stupid amount of work.
Sure.
But I'm creating this group of people that works for me now that I just want to walk around and feel like I'm around friends.
Yeah.
And of course, I have thousands of problems. My top managers have thousands of problems. Mm-hmm. But when you sit down with a friend and you have the support, and you like when I put 4 of my top people around the table and I present a problem, like we can solve everything.
Yeah.
You know, and just like feeling that you have that power of like, I mean, filling out a government contract for the airport, which is extremely complicated.
Right.
But like the fact that we can sit down and do it, I mean, it's so rewarding.
Right.
And it's so rewarding for me because like I do the parts that I'm good at, and basically the paperwork is sent around the table and everyone is shipping in what they are good at.
Right.
And then to be able to like take a step back and see your organization solving these puzzles, it's like the most rewarding thing. It's more rewarding to see your friends like succeeding than to just like succeed yourself.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, I think that's true community. And I think that in my mind and heart, that's what true masculinity is. It's about working together with other men and women to have some sort of common goal to lift the entire community up.
Yeah. And having the trust to let people, you know, having the trust to like take the keys and be like, well, you're going to drive now. Yeah. Because that is extremely hard as a business owner.
And maybe you don't give them the keys yet to the McLaren. Maybe you give them the keys to the Honda Civic. first.
And that's the little test, you
Yeah.
know, that's when you send
Yeah.
small tests
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, and then it's up to like the Jeep Wrangler, and then it's whatever, and then eventually you toss them the keys to the, you know, the jet.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Yeah.
And then people are so scared to fail too.
Yeah.
You know, they see failure as this like terrible thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, did you do your best?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Well, then we didn't fail. I mean, we learned so much
Right.
in that process,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and it's totally fine to try something and then don't
Right.
like, and then fail on it as
learn.
long as you truly did the best
Right.
you could,
Yeah.
you know,
And then learn from it. As we wrap this conversation up, what advice would you share with young entrepreneurs now, maybe tools that you're seeing with either ChatGPT or something, so I can see a lot of young men who probably, and young women, be like, man, I want to go work for that guy. So Bjorn's Bees, you can go if he's hiring. And that's anything from beekeepers all the way down to and retail. But what would you suggest for young entrepreneurs that want to have a modicum of this success for themselves? What would you share with them if you were to distill it down?
I mean, I think taking advantage of opportunity is the absolute biggest part. And as opportunity is presented to you, and sometimes you have to like get yourself out to see the different opportunities there is, but there's so much opportunity that people are just like, nah, I'm not going to take that.
And there's hesitancy. Maybe there's a little bit of fear, or it's like cool to not work.
All of that combined. But I think as a business owner, to like truly dive into an opportunity there is, because I'm amazed over all the different projects I have jumped into and like how successful I have been in every single opportunity that I truly put my mind into.
I love that. I'm thinking of my friend Cyrus. I don't know if you know him. He's a younger guy. He's in his 20s, very fit. I'll introduce you. He's worked out at Crunch. He's sometimes at Lifetime. And I remember talking with him months ago before he started this company, Peak Peptides. And he was like, I don't know what to do, man. Like, and he's still in college. He's like, I don't know what to do. And I like this guy. Like, I consider him a friend. And I'm just listening. Like, I don't have advice for him of what business he should go do. Like, that's his passion. And I remember being like, you know, like, what do you love? And he's like, I fucking love peptides. Like, and he's fit, you know, and he takes peptides.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, maybe look in that. And then fast forward several months later, he now fucking has a peptide company.
Yeah.
And he's making bank, bro. Yeah. Like, congratulations, Cyrus. We're going to have him on the podcast. And I think it's an example of what you're talking about. And I just like, I don't know, it's here, I'm thinking about it. I cherish my friends that are doing well. And I am like so happy for you guys. And particularly you guys that have a heart and are like, you know what? I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do it well. And for you, I'm going to take care of my kid. I'm going to take care of my wife. I'm going to have good friends, and I'm going to make the world a better place with fucking honey. Like, and it's like, I eat honey every single day. So I don't know. I'm just like I don't know.
I mean, if you can make people happy, they're going to return that favor to you, right? Yeah. And I can do it. I want to do it in my honey shop. Yeah. And I don't care if they buy anything, but if they walk out and they like, that was awesome.
Freya's beaming. She's so happy. She's got a little lavender lollipop. So thank you for coming on the show, Pontus. Thank you for sharing your passion with us. Everyone's got to check out. You got to check out your honey shop all over the place in Denver International Airport. Do you guys also sell online retail too?
Yeah, bjornscoloradohoney.com. Okay. You find us in the airport, of course. Right. We have a store in Steamboat, Vail, Breckenridge, Golden, Pearl Street, and Boulder.
Dude, and I'm trying to convince him to have an intra-workout drink made out of honey. So we'll see.
It will happen. It will happen. I have some good ideas for sure.
It'll be very cool. Thank you again. So everyone, go buy some honey. Be nice to your wife and or girlfriend. And if you don't have one yet, be nice to yourself and build yourself into the man worthy of a life that would be worthy of the relationships that you want to have. And if you are lucky enough to have a son and or daughter, investing in that relationship yields, I think, the highest dividends. And I think you would be able to say 100%. Yeah. So we'll see y'all next time.